are some foods that will wreck your weight loss on Ozempic or Mounjaro? Let's talk about it. My name is Dr. G, and I am an internal medicine doctor in Hollywood, Florida, and I specialize in lifestyle modification coaching, weight loss management, and management of chronic diseases in general. So what is going on with the foods that you're eating, and why, and which ones are actually wrecking your weight loss journey on Ozempic and Mounjaro? If you've watched any of my videos, it's going to seem like I'm repeating myself. And that's because I am. The answers are the same. These are the types of foods that will absolutely wreck your weight loss journey or your lifestyle modification journey in general, because not only do they not help you lose weight, they also promote unhealthy things happening to your body, like high blood pressure and diabetes, and sometimes even cancers can be promoted by eating some of these things that we're about to talk about. Number one, refined carbohydrates and sugars. So these types of sugars are very simple sugars that the body uses for energy. Yeah, that's good. The problem is they spike your blood glucose levels very quickly, which then in turn brings on a hyper response of insulin from your pancreas to deal with this sugar rush that you basically got. And insulin then promotes the storage of glucose as fat in general. So yeah, that can't be a good thing. We don't want to increase the amount of fat we have in our body. We want to give ourselves the opportunity to break down good sugars, good carbohydrates, unrefined carbohydrates in order to, slowly bring up the blood sugar levels, blood glucose levels, that we can use this energy as we're breaking it down and not promote a spike in blood glucose, which will quickly push the insulin levels up and then promote the fat gain. That's not what we want. So stay away from the refined carbohydrates and sugars. What are those? You'll see people say, oh, the white stuff. Of course, granulated, white sugarcane sugar, white bread, flour, white flours, white rice, sugary cereals can also do this as well. Pastries and baked goods are infamous for this if they're not specially made for the purposes of not spiking your blood glucose and staying away from additives that were the ingredients that have refined carbohydrates and sugars in them. Candy, and sweets, sweet desserts. Eee. No, we don't want to do that. We want to stay away from those types of things while we're on our weight loss and nutrition and our lifestyle modification journey. Of course, I know there are going to be times it's going to happen, but it cannot be a regular staple of your diet, of your everyday. This is the one-off I do once in a while. It can't be what I do every single day to live. So what are some healthier alternatives? You've got quinoa, you've got brown rice, you've got whole grain pastas, you've got foods that are higher in fiber that'll slow down digestion and slow down this sugar spiking. If you absolutely positively cannot tolerate some drinks, some foods without a sweetener, it doesn't change it for you, the taste of the food for you. You can use some of the diet sweeteners. It's just something to get you through it and have it so you can actually enjoy the food. Some people just cannot have a coffee without a sweetener, and you can use like something like monk fruit, or I've even had patients that'll put a dab of honey into their tea or into their coffee even, just to get a little bit of sweeten. And it's a natural sweetener, and it doesn't spike as hard or as as vigorously as your run-of-the-mill white sugar does. So that's an option. If you have a sweet tooth and you do need a little bit of dessert, your desserts can be fruit. Prepare your fruit in different type of fruit salads, and different type of fruits as snacks can quiet down your sweet tooth, especially in the middle of the night. If you're a midnight oil type person like me and you're up all types of night, you may crave a little bit of sweetness, and fruit bowls and fruit snacks, not fruit snacks, but snacks of fruit. Because I said fruit snacks one time to a patient, and her eyes lit up, and I was like, no, not the one you buy in the checkout aisle. Anyway, snacks of fruit prepared and in good proportions, in servings that are decent, are an option for killing that sweet tooth if you have one. Number two, highly processed foods. No go when we're trying to lose weight, when we're trying to get our lifestyle modification rolling. If it's been processed, meaning like fast food, highly processed foods, foods that come in a can and so, it's already been fixed up and all. Highly processed foods have additives in there, they have salt in excess, they have, carbohydrates in excess. None of the good and most of the bad are in these highly processed foods. The worst part about it is these foods tend to be calorie dense, meaning I like to give the analogy to my clients and my patients when I'm talking to them face to face, and we are talking about, what a plate of food looks like when they say, oh, well, I don't eat much. Okay, great. Let's look about what do you eat? Well, I have a small slice of cheesecake. It's only a small piece. And, I have a salad here and there. And I have, wait. The salad's okay, but how many calories are in that slice of cheesecake compared to that salad? The salad will fill you up. It's a big old bowl of salad. This small piece of cheesecake, yeah, you fulfill the sweet tooth urge, but how much did that cost you? We go and look and get the numbers out. That calorie dense processed cheesecake costed 1,000 calories, much more than the patients or, you anticipate, a lot more. So yeah, make sure that processed foods are not a major part. Again, I'm not looking for everyone to be absolutely perfect. I'm looking for people who will do the right thing by their nutrition 80 to 85, maybe 90, if I'm lucky, 90% of the time. And then when they do it the 10% of the time, you're not going overboard and going nuts with it. You're just, it's just a taste. I had a piece of cheesecake. It was a small sliver. It was one time in the last month, and I killed its sweet tooth the rest of the time with fruit. So yeah, stay away from processed foods that will kill your metabolism and kill the way that especially if you're on Ozempic, will kill the way the Ozempic works, because it's just not a very good way to keep your blood glucose down because of all of the additives and all of the refined sugars and refined carbohydrates that are in the food. What are some alternatives? You can do lean meats that are not processed, that have great proteins in them. We can do fresh vegetables and fresh fruit. Homemade meals are always a good way to go versus eating out. Fast food restaurants have made it convenient, but in order to make it convenient, these additives have been placed into your food that will increase the amount of calories and everything else that you are not looking to put into your body as you are trying to lose weight. We need to go back and put the healthier alternatives. So what to avoid? Fast food, frozen dinners, or packaged foods such as chips and crackers, packaged meats such as sausages and deli meats, sugary beverages like, pops, sodas, and energy drinks. Energy drinks, basically no good. No good. Stay away from energy drinks. I've seen bad things with the energy drinks, but that's a different conversation. Those are the types of things. I'm sure that list is not exhaustive, but those are the major ones that I see on a daily basis that, we have to cut out of our nutrition plans in order to be successful. The third food type that I recommend you avoid on your weight loss journey on Ozempic, or any of the GLP-1 agonist medications for that matter, is high fat foods, especially ones that are high in unsaturated fats and trans fats. Foods high in fat, especially saturated fats, promote high cholesterol and promote weight gain in the long run. We're talking about fried foods. We're talking about that are high in trans fats. We're talking about full fat dairy foods. We are talking about fatty cuts of meat, butter. Those are the type of things that have bad fats in them. And we want to avoid those things because, again, high cholesterol and promotes fat content in the composition of our bodies, right? So we want to go for lean fats. We want to go for good fats, lean proteins, and fish oils and all that, right? So again, fatty cuts of meat, full fat dairy, processed foods containing hydrogen oils, fried foods such as French fries and fried chicken, and then you got your margarine and other spreads that are full fats. Stay away from those. Not a very good idea. There are alternatives such as lean proteins. Choose lean sources of meat. Take the skin off the chicken or the turkey, cook it that way, air fry it, roast it. Don't cook it in its own stew, and because then those fat oils will just be incorporated into the meal. Go for fish like salmon, fish like halibut, fish like mackerel. Those are great fish to try. Tuna is an awesome one. Tuna is great in the good types of fat that you want to put into your body and that your body can use for energy. If you're not a meat eater type of person, tofu, legumes, hummus, those are good sources of protein and they have the good fats in them. And let's talk about healthy fat sources. We're talking about nuts and grains, basically. Avocado, chia seeds, flaxseed, olive oil is a good source of good fat. Almonds are also good sources of fats that we want to put into your body and work well with GLP-1 agonists to promote a healthy weight loss and to keep the fat levels down, and along with the protein intake that we just talked about, keep the muscle mass up. And if you absolutely positively must do dairy on your weight loss journey, you can do Greek yogurt, you can do skim milk, you can do low-fat cheeses if you just can't stay away from it. But again, make sure these portions are well counted, decent portions, small portions that represent what they should be in your diet for your weight, your height, your gender, and all that good stuff. Very important that we stay within our box for whatever we are and what we're looking for, to make sure that the maths at the end and we get the results that we expect, right? Now, I said it 1,000 times and I'll continue to say it. Yes, the food, the type of fuel you put into your body is important to make sure that your journey with Ozempic or Mounjaro is successful. But the biggest thing is lifestyle modifications, changing the way you do things. And that means looking at your portion control, making sure that you maintain your hydration, making sure that you meal plan. So your portion control, you can do that by, getting smaller plates, or telling yourself before you even walk up to wherever it is that you're going to eat. I used to eat maybe a month ago, 2 months ago, 3 months ago. I'm going to eat half of that, whatever it is, a portion of that, and I'm going to stick to that. And you make these small changes as time goes on, and you will find out that I didn't need to have, seconds or thirds or whatever it is, or a big plate. I could eat half of this and be full, and I really don't need to have it all in one sitting. I can share with a friend. I can, have the other half at another lunch, 2 or 3 days later. Whatever it is, the point being, biggie sizing everything and all that, these are habits that we have formed, and we don't even realize that we can do a lot better, and we'll feel a lot better, and we'll still be full by eating smaller portions. The second thing I mentioned was the hydration. Hydration is very important in order for the body to do the processes that it needs to do everything. Breaking down fat needs hydrolyzation, meaning we take a water molecule and we split off cholesterol into its smaller forms that can be used and mobilized. Processes like it happen over and over, needing water. H2O is needed in the body. I'm sure you've heard, or people say it all the time, body's like 70% water. So is the earth. Yeah, this is true. So you need to hydrate yourself. Not only that, there's techniques that, people will promote and make sense before sitting down at a meal. Many cultures will have a glass of water. They'll have a glass of water before, having even your meal. It helps to full the stomach a little bit more, if quicker, and you tend to eat a little bit less if you're having issues with portion control. So those are techniques that you could use. Water, which you already have to drink anyway, you have to hydrate yourself around mealtime. It will help to decrease your caloric intake in that regard, along with, obviously, the Ozempic or Mounjaro. And finally, meal planning. Now, don't get all crazy and wild on me. Meal planning doesn't mean that you have to cook. Many of my patients say, like, man, there's no way I'm gonna sit there and cook for the week. First, some people just don't like the way leftovers taste. Like, they won't eat, meal tomorrow that they prepared today, let alone, cook on Sunday for the whole week all the way through Saturday. Some folks just they weren't brought up that way. They, the way their lifestyle is now, they're not gonna do it, or they don't cook, or just don't like the way it tastes. So meal planning does not mean that you have to actually cook the meals. It does mean you must plan, right? So let's talk about it. I work at XYZ company, and next to the company, I have several restaurants. I know what they are. I can research their menus. I know everything. And now on Sunday, I can sit down and say, I am going to eat this week for lunch. I'm going to eat this, and this from these places. I've now meal planned, right? I've picked out exactly what it is I'm going to eat. Now, once you did that, you've calculated the calories, you calculated everything you wanted to calculate out of it, and you get all your fats, your proteins, and your carbs in the right proportions. Now you got to stick to it. Now it's a meal plan. You got to execute. Just like if you were to bring it from home, you cooked it from home, and you cooked it for the whole week. Now you've actually made the plan. I know exactly what I'm going to eat on Wednesday, and I'm going to have this Cobb salad with a slice of salmon on the side. Perfect. Now you've just meal planned. Hey, do that for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and success. So by making these changes to your nutrition, looking for foods that are nutrient dense and not calorie dense, looking for whole foods and not refined foods, you can optimize your weight loss journey on medications like Ozempic and Mounjaro and get to where you need to get in a healthier manner and probably quicker, yes, and you get more control and you're doing the heavy lifting of lifestyle modifications because again, Ozempic, in my eyes, Ozempic and Mounjaro, semaglutide and tirzepatide, respectively, are tools in order to help you get what you want out of your lifestyle modification journey, which may be, just to change your nutrients around and nutrition around, maybe want to lose a few pounds, maybe get off the couch, maybe lower your blood pressure some, maybe get a better control of your diabetes. It may be you just got diagnosed with a terrible, terrible diagnosis and you want to go into that fight tip-top shape. Whatever it is in your lifestyle modification journey, with or without Mounjaro, really, these are the types of things that you need to go ahead and do in order to get yourself ready to go and successful. If you'd like to get lifestyle modification coaches with me on a one-to-one basis or even in a group setting, go ahead and comment coaching down below and we will get you on the list. You can get all of this straight from me, no chaser. See you soon.